As the legend goes, David Lamar Brooks was born with a camera in his hands. Even today, he puts it down only long enough to create more magic.
David is the perfect example of amazing journalists who have spent years of their career crafting and perfecting.
As photographer David Brooks filmed these scenes barely able to stand up.
Quiet but brilliant. Overlook him at your peril. There are so many stories where I've gone up to the reporter afterward and asked, who shot that? Who edited that? That looked great. And the answer almost always is David Brooks.
In this business that is always evolving, David is a constant. He consistently stands out.
A closer look reveals someone sitting on top of the plane. Yes, a photographer. Newswatch's own David Brooks getting a personal bird's-eye view.
What's amazing about David Brooks is he's older than I am, but actually has more hair than I do, and I deeply envy that. Actually, what I really envy about David is he keeps innovating. This is the youngest person in the newsroom.
Oh, that's right.
David is constantly learning new skills. He's constantly trying to come up with new ways to make his interviews better and his photography better and his editing better. And frankly, he makes all of us better.
He is the kind of guy who comes in every single day, regardless of what is going on in his life outside of this building, and just gives it his all. And you could tell him that you need to make a revision to a story for the umpteenth time, and he just accepts the script and he's like, okay, and he just immediately goes about doing it.
David's assignments have taken him around the world, to Russia during the end of the Soviet Empire, to the Olympics in Atlanta, London, Beijing.
We were there for 2 whole weeks, nonstop working, and he never got grumpy. Well, maybe he got grumpy a few times, but so did I. It was a lot of work. My photographer's carrying a lot of weight on him, pushing him this way. Don't you fall on me. But he's such a delight to work with. We went to Beijing for the Olympics, went to the inauguration of President Obama, and all of those trips were just extraordinary. To work with somebody who I say is really the epitome of perfection when it comes to visually telling a story. He and I were really working nonstop. And I was writing, he was editing. I would have to run up and down the stairs literally to bring him scripts. And at one point, I think he just looked at me and he just said, "Can you stop making the story so long?" I was like, okay, I got it.
David is a native son of Mississippi, where after several part-time media positions and a stint as a liquor store clerk, which he says paid him the most money, he accepted his first full-time job at WLBT in Jackson. Then it was on to Little Rock, Arkansas, and Orlando, Florida, where he would meet the love of his life.
That's where we met. I was a producer at the station. He asked me out, and it took a few tries. And then as I got to know him, the rest is history.
David and Dorothy were married a few years later in Atlanta, because after 2 rejection letters that David still has, he finally became a member of the 11 Alive family. And it's at 11 Alive where one assignment would touch David's life forever.
David and a reporter that he worked with a lot back in the early days, Ken McLeod, they had done a series that examined the different ways that people strive to become families. And over the course of that video, adopting children from overseas was featured. And we just became very interested in that. It just appealed to both of us greatly.
And from that experience, a family was born. In 1988, David and Dorothy adopted Ashley. 4 years later came little sister Emily.
It's been a wonderful experience to do that. Now our girls are grown up.
David's family is his universe, a universe that is expanding. They're expecting their first grandchild in October.
Really? Oh my God.
Over a career that has spanned 4 decades, David says it's the people he's met along the way that keep him going. To those of us lucky enough to have worked with him, we say you have made us all better journalists.
David, congratulations, much deserved. You're not allowed to retire, and we're going to need a little bit of hair from you so we can clone you later. Congratulations.
You want to be with David Brooks when you're covering anything from breaking news to a really complicated investigative story, and that's a rare combination.
David Brooks is a gem.
I'm just so delighted that he's being rewarded for the great journalist that he is. He deserves all of it and more. So to you, David, I say it was a privilege and honor to work with you, and congratulations.
David Brooks, welcome to the Silver Circle.